So the last speaker for today, Moshe Aharon, an old friend of mine, leading this AI security in Sapiens. Pleasure to have you here. Good luck.
Thank you. Hello, ladies, gents. Thank you for taking your time to come over today. And thank you for the CSA to inviting me to speak. So this is going to be, I guess, a little bit of a different presentation. I'm a practical guy, so I talk about practical stuff. And what I'm going to show you today is what I learned in my 3-year AI security journey. So who am I in very, very short? 15 years in InfoSec in general. Doing AI security for 3 years now. I'm heavily focused on that specific area. And I am currently the AI security lead in a global insurtech company, 6,000 employees. So I'm here to share my 10 cents about the main areas that I think we should focus. And hopefully you will get out of here today remembering a few things and gaining a few things to your list, I guess. So let's start. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about chatbots or AI services in general. We're going to talk about development. We're going to talk about products. We're going to talk about people. I believe these are the 4 pillars that we should focus on because these are the main junctions where basically all our efforts are combined into. So let's talk about chatbots and non-confidential AI services in general. First of all, that's kind of obvious, right? People may accidentally share sensitive data into non-classified or non-confidential chatbots. That's very easy to do, but very hard to solve. So, because I don't know many organizations, many enterprises that actually block, let's say, the big 4, right? That's a very, very hard to do, almost impossible. So how do we mitigate it? We're talking about risk management today. We're talking about mitigation. So what we basically do, we can implement our existing DLP tools to protect our data, considering that we have DLP tools, which most enterprises do. And it's actually taking a little bit of risk of what the users can do. Because in the end of the day, it's clipboard monitoring and copy-paste and documents that are classified in such a way. About hallucinations, well, everybody talks about that. That's actually the hardest one for the AI companies to deal with, but it's the easiest one to solve from our point of view as humans. So what do we do about that? We basically use what we have between our ears. We use our brain. We mitigate the risk by actually thinking. Is that logical or not logical? So this is like a returning message that you will see across the presentation. We always have to use the brain. There is no excuse for not using that. About hidden prompt injection. What happens if an employee got an email? And in that email message, we had a very cleverly hidden prompt which is supposed to trigger a chatbot who actually reads this email, right? That's both, I can say, hard to detect and actually hard to actually accomplish. But what we can do, it's basically input filtering solutions that knows exactly how to look, how a safe prompt look, or know how to exactly look into the message and see that the message is not containing any prompt injection. I don't think that the vendors are there yet, but they are catching up, that's for sure. And last but not least, browser extensions. In the last 15 years, nothing changed. It's the same, right? People see, like, they go to the Chrome web store, and they see, like, I don't know, ChatGPT extension, which from unknown vendor. What's actually happening in the background, that it's harvesting your information. It's not providing you anything. In the best case scenario, it's man in the middle and just drinking all your traffic. So What do we do with it? That's actually very easy to accomplish. We just block unapproved extensions. And that's like a standard process of endpoint management these days. So that's the first pillar. The second one, I'm going to talk about our developers, because today, most of our developers, if not all of them, are using AI to improve their coding, right? So how about developers using our own intellectual property, our own code, with a company which we don't have any data processing or data confidentiality agreement with, right? Our IP is out there. And once it's out, it's out. So how do we deal with it? Basically, we, as one of my previous colleagues said here, we need to have a process to review the approved coding tools, introduce them as part of our development, and use them as they intended to be used. Sometimes you even need to go to the level of the model itself and check if the model inside the coding tool is okay to use or not. AI-generated code may contain security vulnerabilities. That's actually very interesting. I saw just a few days ago a blog post from CrowdStrike about DeepSeek R1. When someone was talking to DeepSeek R1, and he was checking it from CrowdStrike, and once he was talking about the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, apparently DeepSeek provided a code with 50% probability up for vulnerabilities. Like, it's increased the vulnerability probability in 50%. So it's not me, it's CrowdStrike, and it happened. So what do we do with it? Code scanning in the pipeline. AI may know a lot, but he has zero clue about secure coding, unless it's a dedicated AI, unless it's a dedicated product which actually specializes in code security. AI may include code with unknown licenses. That's another big problem. So how you deal with it? Because you can, if it's not your code or you are violating a license, what do you do with it? Basically, you set a process. That's very hard to do. That's not easy, but it's totally possible. You do set a process to evaluate open source, and you do follow it. You distribute and follow it, and you mitigate these licensing problems in the future. And last, in this pillar, developers may trust AI output without review. Blind trust. And again, we always validate. Like they actually are senior developers and they test in a junior developer code, that's exactly what they need to follow right here. Always use your brain. Third pillar, AI-enhanced products. So we build a product or enhance our product, and it has AI functionality in it. That's great. How we do this properly? So one of the problems that we may encounter is user input may manipulate the model. And that's a very common issue, actually. That's input validation right there. I know about cases which customers actually successfully hacked the model that was sold to them, that was part of the product. It's not like a good score for the company, right? Or a good PR. So how do you deal with it? Prompt protection tools. And these tools can actually sit in the middle, interpret the prompt, catch it while it's still in the middle, and dissect it or take the malicious part off or take the manipulation off. These things are just arising right now. I know about a few companies that are out there and they are specializing in this stuff, but the big vendors, I believe they are catching up. I think we will see this a very common feature in DLP tools in a few months or a year or two. I believe so. Model responses may change over time. Model drift. You have to maintain the model consistency with the answers, right? If the customers call you in a few months and they will tell you, the model is totally off. The answers are not on point. I don't know, hallucinating, giving us the wrong answers. I mean, what do we do? So how do you actually mitigate that? You monitor the output and audit the models regularly. And when I say that, I mean even sanity checks. Like you should have a predefined list or script or manual checks that you have to do in order to make sure that the model is still sane. Training data may include unsafe or biased examples. So how do you do that? Access control, guys, access control. You make sure that the data set is protected. You make sure that the access control is on point, and you make sure that even the model itself cannot write if it doesn't need write permissions to the data set. Last pillar, I'm stepping on the gas here, sorry. Education. Get your security policy together. Create an AI security policy for the entire organization, deploy and execute it. The employees need to know. People may trust AI answers without critical thinking. That's need to be part of your training. They need to understand this is not a magical button that you press and get answers. They need to validate that the answer making sense, right? Teams may use unauthorized AI tools to create shadow AI. That's another big problem, right? Major problem that everyone is facing these days. So you do tell them what they are allowed to use. You do create a whitelist, and you do publish it to everyone, so everyone will know which tools are used for company use and which tools are used for your personal use. Last but not least, lack of awareness may lead to accidental data exposure. So when I say that, I mean you need to keep the awareness on top all the time. Don't get your feet out of the gas pedal. Always maintain a constant communication with your employees, even a very specific, very focused sessions with certain areas of the company around their own usage. So, to wrap it up, we got a gift. I mean, we need to use it wisely. Well, we talked about chatbots, development, products, and people. Remember these pillars. And not every step here is a big step. Some of them can be done very easily and very quickly, like communication, like training. It's very easy to do. Small steps that can make a big difference. And remember that we are not slowing down anyone. As one of my colleagues says, we are here to support the business in the end of the day. So let's map the needs, build the guardrails around the need, and push forward. That's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great. Excellent lecture, judging by the amount of people that photograph your slides. I'm guessing that you provide value. So yeah, thank you very much. Guys, this is it, the last lecture for today. Thank you for being with us. You have the entire week, cybersecurity, AI security. Enjoy it. Next Cyber Week, June, we're going to be here. Hopefully you too.